This past winter, I wrote a blog for the weather blog, and it was called "Too Cold for Snow." Um, so I looked through. Again, it was just something that came to my mind. Like in New York, what is the coldest temperatures we've had for a big snowstorm? So I looked through all the data back to 1960. I decided that was my cutoff point for this, even though I could go back to 1900. And I looked at the high and low temperatures for all these different snowstorms. And the coldest, there was a snowstorm back in the late 60s. I believe it was in 1967, where the high temperature was 16 and the low temperature was 7. But there was over a foot of snow. And the other end, while I was looking at the coldest, I decided to look at what are the warmest temperatures for big snowstorms. And actually, again, this sort of is an indication of climate change, that there have been many big snowstorms in the past 10 years, but they've also been accompanied by relatively mild temperatures. Of course, they're around freezing, but they're like low temperatures right around 30 and highs of 35, and yet we've had huge snowstorms. Actually, the warmer temperatures you get, usually there's the likelihood there's more moisture, but that's happening more and more. And along the lines of a climate change in snow, there's over the past 15 years, there's been a much more often large snowstorms than there have been over the past 100 years. Like it used to be every 8 or 9 years you'd get a snowstorm of like a foot or more. But since the year 2000, it's been happening once every 3 years. So temperatures may not be getting colder in the winter in New York, but there's actually more snow falling.